Angel Reese picking up right where she left off, breaking more WNBA records, but unfortunately for Sky fans, it came in the form of a loss, 99-74.
Angel Reese just made WNBA history. And not the kind you want to remember, but of course, absolutely hilarious. Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese went completely scoreless from the field against the New York Liberty, missing all 8 of her shot attempts in what became the most embarrassing performance of her professional career.
Well, it may be time for Angel Reese to consider taking up a different game. Tiddlywinks, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what game she wants to possibly take up. I know one thing, she can't wait for the Unrivaled season to start at this point.
Guess what? It wasn't just Reese. It was the entire Sky team. We'll reveal the shocking statistic that makes this the worst start in WNBA history. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever just bounced back with a statement win. If you stand with Caitlin and the Fever, comment Fever Champs down below. Let's go.
The Chicago Sky, you're seeing that right. 9 points in the second quarter. 9 points. Folks, if a team scores less points than you have fingers, that's bad.
You know what happens when a professional basketball player can't make a single shot from the field? You get Angel Reese's performance against the Liberty. Actually, let's be real, you get Angel Reese every game. This particular disaster saw Reese go 0 for 8 from the floor, managing just 2 measly points from free throws. 2 points in a professional basketball game from someone who averaged 13.6 points per game in her rookie season to 2.
Angel Reese, part 33! Let's get it! Only lost by 25 this time! Bang! That stuffer coming hot with the stats. She went 0 of 8, 5 turnovers, and she got 1 hit stick. Bang! She had 12 rebounds. 8 of them were the me-bounds, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's get it going. How about it? Bang! Again, there's another me-bound. Let's do it again. Bang! Another me-bound. Do it again. Bang! Another me-bound. One more time. Bang! Wait, you're allowed to pass the ball?
The breakdown of what went wrong reads like a comedy script. Reese missed 4 separate shots under the rim during one single possession after repeatedly grabbing her own rebounds. Picture this. She gets an offensive rebound, goes back up, misses. Grabs another rebound, goes back up, misses again. Rinse and repeat until even the most patient Sky fans started questioning reality. The viral video of this sequence had basketball fans across social media asking if Reese forgot the basic fundamentals of putting a ball through a hoop.
Tell her when you travel, you need your real ID now! Bang! Free throws ain't free! Bang! Again! Bang! All right, brother, who at the zoo is responsible for letting the giraffes out of their habitat? How many steps was that? Traveling! Bang!
Does a fly and Angel Reese have in common? They both get swatted.
Bang!
Green company reached out. They said, I want to sponsor you. I said, you don't have my flavor. They said, what's your flavor?
They have butter pecan! Bang!
He's shooting 23% from less than 5 feet from the basket.
4 of 17 from right there! What?
Throws are fundamentals.
Bang!
What did she do in the offseason?
Bang!
These weren't contested shots with defenders draped all over her. Reese had wide open looks right under the basket. Shots that any high school player should convert. The kind of shots that make coaches scream at their TV screens because missing them defies basketball logic. Yet somehow, Reese found creative ways to miss every single one.
And it was Angel Reese setting women's basketball back 30,000 years at this point. I mean, truly. I would say back to the age of T-Rex, but she does get rebounds, so she can't actually rebound the ball. What she cannot do is shoot the ball at all. And the same woes from last year are back, but I'm going to point something out.
Her struggles extended beyond just shooting. Reese turned the ball over 5 times, completely disrupting any offensive flow the Sky were trying to establish. Every time Chicago built any momentum, Reese either missed an easy shot or coughed up the ball at the worst possible moment. Her body language told the whole story as the game progressed. You could see the frustration building with each missed attempt, culminating in a technical foul for arguing with an official.
And another loose ball foul. They're going to give it to Angel. And this one might be challenged. We'll have to see. And an Angel Reese, I think, just got slapped with a tech.
This performance ranks among the worst individual shooting nights in WNBA history, especially considering the volume of missed easy shots. Even players known more for defense than offense rarely go 0 for 8, particularly when half those shots come from point-blank range.
Okay, so now we've got a person standing in a room with a spotlight on them every time they play basketball, and the basketball is not good on top of it. It wasn't good beforehand, but guys, 26 minutes, almost 20, let's just call it 27 minutes. When you're at 26:56, we're calling it 27 minutes. 0 from 8 for the field. 8 offensive rebounds. Don't worry, we'll get to the video. 12 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 2 points.
The most embarrassing part? Despite grabbing 12 rebounds, including 8 offensive boards, no one talks about those numbers. When you shoot 0% from the field and score 2 points, your rebounding stats become meaningless. After the game, Reese tried to stay positive, saying she was just staying poised and looking for the next shot. But this wasn't just a rough night shooting. This was the kind of performance that creates lowlights, the stuff of permanent social media infamy. When professional athletes make history for being this offensively inept, you know something has gone terribly wrong. Individual struggles are one thing, but when an entire team falls apart, you get the worst start in WNBA history. The Chicago Sky managed to do something no team had ever done before, posting a negative 60-point differential through their first 2 games. Let that number sink in. In just 2 games, opponents outscored them by 60 points. The Sky lost to Indiana 93-58, then got demolished by New York 99-74. That's not just bad basketball. That's historically terrible basketball. The Liberty didn't just beat Chicago, they dismantled them while setting their own piece of WNBA history. New York hit 19 three-pointers during their blowout win, breaking the league record for most threes in a single game. 19 threes. The Sky's defense looked so lost that Liberty players were getting wide-open looks from everywhere. When pros are shooting that freely from deep, your defensive scheme is broken. Let's talk numbers, because they tell the ugly truth about this Sky team. Chicago has averaged just 66 points per game, while giving up nearly 100. That's a 34-point gap per game. That's not a team losing. They're being obliterated. And the turnover problem? It makes everything worse. Chicago turned the ball over 24 times against New York, leading directly to 27 Liberty points. 24 turnovers in one game signals a team that can't even handle basic ball security. Even veteran players have admitted the team can't grasp basic basketball concepts. Courtney Vandersloot told reporters after the Liberty loss, "Offensively, we haven't really found our groove yet. I think we're a little out of rhythm trying to make the wrong play. I think it comes with time. We've got to work on our chemistry offensively." When experienced players publicly admit they don't know what they're doing on offense, you know the problems run deep. Coach Teresa Weatherspoon's system has completely failed to get anything productive from this roster. The Sky traded for Ariel Atkins in the offseason with playoff expectations. Those hopes now look ridiculous. This isn't early season rust. It's not just growing pains. This is a fundamentally broken team that can't execute basic plays on either end. The Sky's issues form a perfect storm of basketball incompetence that goes far beyond Reese's shooting woes. When your team makes history for being this bad, major changes need to happen immediately. Social media can be brutal, but the reactions to Angel Reese's performance were on another level. Within minutes of the final buzzer, fans flooded X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram with unfiltered takes. The responses were swift and savage, with fans expressing disbelief that a professional player could miss that many easy shots in one game. The harshest reactions hit fast. One Twitter user posted, "She plays volleyball all day." Another asked, "And people say she's as good as Clark." These comments captured the collective shock around Reese's performance, especially when fans compared her struggles to players who built careers on rebounding but could still finish at the rim. Some fans went even further. They questioned whether Reese should even be in the starting lineup. The feedback ranged from constructive to outright calls for her benching, showing how fast fan perception can turn. Supportive Sky fans tried to defend Reese, but their voices got buried under a tidal wave of criticism. Even casual basketball fans, who usually don't follow the WNBA, started sharing clips of her misses. The performance was so bad, it drew attention from people who might watch March Madness, but skip the WNBA. One fan summed it up perfectly. "Girls out here snatching rebounds like exes snatch hoodies." Point made. Rebounding doesn't matter when you can't score. The criticism didn't stop at this game. Fans started pulling up Reese's full rookie season stats, questioning whether her scoring issues reflect deeper problems with her fundamentals. When fans start making compilation videos of your worst moments, you've officially hit rock bottom. And the internet never forgets. Meanwhile, while the Sky were setting records for futility, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever showed how champions respond to adversity. The Fever bounced back from their earlier loss to Atlanta with a statement win, beating the same dream team that had beaten them days before. This wasn't just a regular season win. This was the kind of response that separates contenders from pretenders. Clark's leadership and playmaking fueled Indiana's turnaround. Even though she didn't put up the explosive stats from her earlier games, her court vision and decision-making were key. She managed possessions, created shots for teammates, and kept everyone locked into the game plan. This is what real leadership looks like when the pressure's on. While Chicago kept repeating the same mistakes, Indiana learned from theirs. They tightened defensive rotations, moved the ball better, and showed team chemistry that takes months to build. You know what separates good teams from great ones? Adaptation. And here's where it gets exciting for Fever fans. Players like Lexi Hull, Aaliyah Boston, Sophie Cunningham, DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Kelsey Mitchell all stepped up. Hull hit clutch shots. Boston dominated the paint. Mitchell brought veteran leadership. That's what legitimate depth looks like. The difference in team chemistry and coaching between Indiana's rise and Chicago's collapse says everything about organizational culture. The Fever trust each other, execute their system, and play with cohesion. The Sky look like five strangers who just met in the parking lot before tip-off. Indiana's bounce back proves they have the mental toughness and talent to compete all season long. Championship teams don't just bounce back, they level up. The Fever did that. Chicago did not. The contrast between Angel Reese's meltdown and Caitlin Clark's leadership shows you exactly what separates stars from struggling players. While Chicago makes history for the wrong reasons, Indiana is building something special. The 2025 season is just getting started, but we're already seeing who's ready to compete and who might be watching the playoffs from home. If you stand with Caitlin and the Fever, comment Fever Champs down below.